Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Katie. Okay, so I was not planning on doing a Halloween video this year, but I just got a really cute bar cart. I've literally been looking for one forever and I found the perfect one at Target and I could not resist decorating it for Halloween. I've always seen such cute pictures of bar carts decorated for the holidays, so I decided to come up with a few different Halloween decor items. Now these are not specific to bar carts, I just wanted to decorate mine, but you could use these as any type of Halloween decor for a little tablescape or a party or whatever you want to do. Now I also decided to go kind of against the traditional Halloween colors and do more of a colorful like pink scheme, which I think turned out super cute. I'm so excited to share them with you, so let's get started. So if you've been following my channel for a while now, I did this really cool skull decor about 3 years ago, which I can't believe it's already been 3 years, but I made some Dollar Tree DIYs with these plastic skulls and I made this cool gold skull with black flowers, and I decided to do an updated version of that. So like I said, you can find these plastic skulls at the Dollar Tree, which is very convenient and cheap, and I'm going to cut into it to make the little opening at the top for what I'm going to put inside. So this is super easy to cut because it's just pretty thin plastic. Just be careful, but you can use an X-Acto knife or even some scissors would work. So I just cut a decent sized opening in the top. I'm going to be putting some fake sort of like leaves, kind of a fake plant inside. So whatever you're gonna put inside, just make sure you cut a hole big enough that it will fit. Once you've done that, you can go ahead and start mixing up some paint. So I mixed some custom colors for myself by mixing together pink, orange, and a little bit of white to create this kind of cool corally orange color. And I also added a little bit of baking soda as well to add some texture to it. So I just started off with a very light coat over the entire thing. This is going to need 2 to 3 coats because it's sort of a dark color, especially in the eye area and the nose and the teeth. So just make sure you start off with a nice light coat and cover all parts of the skull. The fun thing about this is that you can customize it to any color that you want. It's really up to you and what fits your decor style. So I think that is pretty awesome that you can just make it all your own. Make sure you're paying extra attention to the area like the eyes and the nose where it's darker, because like I said, that's going to take a little bit more paint to cover it up. So once you've got a full coat on, you can let it dry. It usually takes about 20 to 30 minutes to dry completely, and then you can go ahead in with your second coat. And as you can see here, it covers really well even on the second coat, and you can add a little bit more paint this time because it's going to stick really well to that first base layer of paint. And like I said, I'm just making sure I'm getting in here in these dark spots to make sure that it's fully covered. And once it is, it will look like this. So it looks pretty awesome already, but I'm going to add some fake greenery to it, but you could really add flowers or any type of thing that you want. And I also decided to add in some twinkle lights. I thought that would be really fun, especially on my bar cart. And if you're gonna have people over or just want to have like that fun ambiance, you can turn down the lights and have this really cool, sparkly, twinkly skull. I think this looks so neat, and I just think it's a really cool piece. I really wanted to create something unique, so I decided to make this bat candle holder. In order to do this, I used these just glass votive holders. Again, you can definitely find these at the dollar store, and I glued one on top of the other, so I just flipped one over and then glued the other one on top. Then I went in and painted it with some cream colored paint mixed with a bit of baking soda for texture. Again, you can use any color that you want, but for this one I decided to go a little more traditional because I'm going to be putting some black bats on it and I wanted them to really pop. So once again, I gave this a very light coat, making sure to get the top of it, and also you want to make sure you get in that little crease where you connected the 2 candle jars to make sure that there isn't any glass showing underneath. So then I let that dry and I cut out these little bats using my Cricut, but you could also use little bats from probably the dollar store or the craft store, or you could just print something out and trace it and cut out a bunch by hand. So I was really inspired by those bat walls or bat mantles that you see on Instagram and Pinterest where people put bats kind of like flying over their mantle or on their wall. I think that looks so cool. So I decided to do my own version with this candle holder, and I love the way it turned out. I think it is so unique. I've never seen anything like it, and it's just a really fun piece to add to a tablescape. You could make like a bunch of them. I also think it looks kind of modern and trendy as well. So I'm really happy with this one and how it turned out. I've also always wanted to create a cute little garland for Halloween, so I used my Cricut again and I found this bat, and I didn't want it to be too spooky, so I got this kind of cute looking bat and I printed out a bunch of them. I just had my Cricut cut it on this pink cardstock, but again, you don't need a cutting machine if you don't have one. You could also just print out something offline. You can get like a bat stencil and trace it and cut it out by hand. That would definitely be fine as well. So I printed out just a few of these, and then I took some macrame cord and I decided how long I needed my garland to be, and I just sort of laid everything out ahead of time. So I'm gonna do these bats with these really cool gold wood beads that I got on Amazon, and I decided to kind of just like lay it out to see how I would like the way it to be spaced. And then I wrapped some tape around the end of the macrame cord. This is gonna make it much easier to string the beads onto it. So the first thing you wanna do is tie a knot. So I'm just gonna string the beads on all together first, and then I'm going to glue the bats on. So tie a knot and then string on your first bead because you don't want it to slide around. So you're basically going to put your bead on and then tie another knot so that it stays in place. And you're going to do this for all of your beads right off the bat. Didn't even mean to do that pun, but that was pretty perfect. So just try to space them as evenly as you can, but it doesn't have to be perfect. You can slide your knots around afterward if they're uneven, but just try to ballpark it as best as you can. Once you've got all of your beads strung on, then you can just glue the bats onto the string. So I decided to use some hot glue and just place a little dot of it like under the eyes so you won't be able to see it. And then I glued it right down in between each of the beads. And this is so simple to make, but I think it's really cute. I think it's fun with the color and sort of like the smiling, non-scary bats. I think it's a really fun addition to my bar cart. It looks adorable and I'm super happy with it. And lastly, I had to make a fun sign. So for this, I'm using this canvas. I got a big pack of these on Amazon. I've been using them for so many different projects. I will link them down below, but you could also just use a piece of paper and put it in a frame or anything like that. So again, I'm using my Cricut to cut out my words, but you could also use letter stickers from the craft store. You could use stencils and paint it on. It's really easy to customize this for whatever materials you have, but I happen to have this great colored vinyl that matched my color scheme perfectly, so I decided to cut that out with my little Cricut Joy. So once I got the vinyl all cut out, I kind of laid it out on the canvas just to make sure that it was going to fit and kind of get the layout right, and I measured it to make sure that it would be centered. And then I placed it on and made sure to smooth it down really well. So with the vinyl on the canvas, it didn't stick like the best, but as soon as I smoothed it down to make sure that it wouldn't pop up, then that worked really well, and I think it's going to stay, especially since this is seasonal. I don't have to worry about it lasting super long. And the other great thing is you can also peel this off at the end of the season and reuse the canvas for something else if you want to. So I thought it looked really great, but I wanted to add a little extra touch, and I had these plastic spiders, which you can also find at the dollar store or the craft store, and I just placed one in each corner and hot glued it down. And I think this is the perfect extra little spooky touch to really finish off all of my decor for the bar cart. I think this turned out so cute. You could do any type of saying. I thought this one was really fun, but if you just go on Pinterest, you can find tons of different fun Halloween sayings, so you could make this to match your decor. All in all, I'm so excited with how each of these DIYs turned out. I think my bar cart is looking super festive, and this is exactly what I was hoping for, so I'm really excited to have this up for the next few weeks. So I hope this got you guys in the Halloween spirit. I loved creating these. Honestly, Halloween is one of my favorite holidays. I think it's so much fun. I've been watching all the Halloween movies. I particularly love Hocus Pocus, of course, but let me know in the comments down below which Halloween movies I need to watch. What are your favorites? Because I would love to check them out. As always, if you try out any of these DIYs, make sure that you tag me on Instagram. I love it when you share your projects. It's so much fun, and I love sharing them on my stories as well. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel. We are so close to 40,000. I cannot believe it. It would be so fun to hit 50,000 by the end of the year. I know that's a big goal, but it would be awesome. So make sure you're subscribed to my channel, share it with your friends if you think they'd love it, and I will see you guys next week for a brand new video.